This week's video is brought to you by the generosity of Scout Trooper Captain Noah Dingley, and I'm just happy to be a Stormtrooper, Adam Jordan. The Empire thanks you for your support, my friends, and we would also like to wish Darth Lion a happy 19th birthday. Hold on to your blue milk, Star Wars fans, because the first 2 episodes of Kenobi are on Disney+. Is the Force with this series, or does it choke on its aspirations? Well, that depends greatly on your own point of view. Have you always wanted to see Kenobi working a day job at a meatpacking plant, getting beaten up by needles from Back to the Future, and being outrun by a precocious 8-year-old? Yeah, me neither. I was most displeased with their apparent lack of continuity, because if you wanted a show that stayed true to Obi-Wan's character, this is not the show you're looking for. You can go about your business. Move along. With all the negativity towards the prequel trilogy, it was refreshing seeing that Hayden Christensen was finally being appreciated by the Star Wars fan base, so I really wanted to love this show. But honestly, these first 2 episodes of Kenobi left me colder than a dead tauntaun on Hoth. There is great conflict within me regarding this show, because the depiction of Kenobi in this series conflicts with who Obi-Wan is as a character. Even at the end of episode 3, Kenobi never lost his faith. He has vowed to watch over my son and train him when the time is right. In this series, however, he is a broken man who has buried his lightsaber in the sand and no longer uses the Force. In short, I find his lack of faith disturbing. But the character conflict runs deeper still, because Kenobi still insists that Luke must be trained, when he himself has abandoned his Jedi ways. You cannot pour from an empty cup. How does Kenobi plan to train my son, when he himself no longer uses the Force? He's also supposedly protecting Luke from the Empire. But what's his plan if the Bantha Poodoo hits the fan? Is he gonna ride out 30 miles into the desert on his space camel, dig up his lightsaber, and try to hoof it back to the homestead before Luke ends up deep-fried like Owen and Beru? And I'll just say it. I don't find the Inquisitors compelling or intimidating in the least. They seem like YA or CW villains, and sadly, it appears the leaks were correct, that the series was really written for Sister. So, it's all about Third Sister. The leaks have now betrayed her too. Disney Plus was wise to hide her from me. Now their failure is complete. Third Sister's name is Reva. Turns out she hates Kenobi and is obsessed with finding him. And the whole time I was watching this, I thought, gee, if only there was someone else in Star Wars with a black cape and red lightsaber that might have a grudge against Kenobi. Maybe even a fan-favorite character with some history. I mean, it's too bad we don't have someone like that, because it could have been really compelling to watch. But whatever. So Reva McEntire's plan is to kidnap someone special to Kenobi, to draw him out of hiding. And who is the cheese for this womp rat trap, you may ask? Why, my rebellious little girl, of course, who has become a quintessential Disney princess. Because rather than attending a fancy state dinner in a pretty dress, she wants to run around in the forest and climb trees. So yeah, Leia's basically Merida from Brave now. So wait, does that mean Bail Organa's wife is gonna get turned into a Wookiee so her and Leia can bond and see things from each other's point of view? I don't know. Bail Organa drops by Ben's cave, because Disney watched Jamie Costa's fan film, to say, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." And when Ben states he must stay and watch over the boy, Bail responds, "This isn't about the boy and you know it." And I gotta say, if there was ever a tagline for Disney Star Wars, it would be, "It's not about the boy and you know it." Because it seems like they hate all the classic dudes from Star Wars. They turned Luke into a complete failure in The Last Jedi. They nerfed my favorite scruffy-looking nerve herder in Solo. They turned Yoda into a creepy little gremlin who burned down the sacred Jedi tree with a bolt of lightning, the symbolic weapon of the Sith. They defanged the most notorious bounty hunter in the galaxy and sidelined him in his own series on the Book of Boba Fett, and completely undermined my sacrifice and victory against the Emperor and the Rise of Skywalker. So it stands to reason that Order 66 would not be complete without dragging Kenobi through the mud as well. Obi-Wan is basically Jake Kenobi now. He is broken and defeated. He tries and fails to communicate with Qui-Gon through the Force, and spends these first 2 episodes cowering in fear from the Inquisitors. But why would he fear them? Let's not forget Master Kenobi faced Darth Maul, Count Dooku, General Grievous and the droid army during the Clone Wars, to say nothing of defeating me, the literal Chosen One, in our fateful duel on Mustafar. He was one of the greatest Jedi in the history of the Order, who faced challenges head-on with a twinkle in his eye. And I'm supposed to believe he got his undies in a bunch over a group of C-tier cosplayers pretending they're Sith? This is ridiculous. Who writes this crap? Anyway, Obi-Wan heads to a neon drug dealer planet to rescue Leia, where he promptly gets the poop kicked out of him by Needles and his gang of miscreants. But rather than use the Force on them to make them go home and rethink their lives like the Death Stick dealer from Episode 2, Kenobi decides instead to don a gas mask and bust open a container of space drugs so Needles and his gang get too stoned to fight him properly. Because, he can't use his lightsaber and kill them. This is a family show. Obi finds Leia locked in a closet and tries to rescue her, but she doesn't trust him and runs away. Meanwhile, Reva is hot on their trail, galloping across the rooftops like Sabretooth from X-Men Origins. When Leia missteps and nearly falls to her demise, Obi-Wan barely manages to use the Force to keep my little girl from pulling a Gwen Stacy all over the pavement. And before they escape in a speedy spaceship, Reva Las Vegas tells Obi-Wan, I am still alive. The episode ends on yet another Bacta tank promising Hayden Christensen's triumphant return. But my problem was, they didn't even use the Imperial March for this sequence. They also never used Leia's theme, so that was a big letdown for me. But while these first 2 episodes were disappointing to say the least for me personally, I'm still going to give the rest of the series a chance because I'm looking forward to seeing Hayden Christensen fight in the full Vader armor. But those were my thoughts on the Kenobi premiere. What did you think of it? Comment below and let me know. And if you're new to the channel, join the Empire today by subscribing. You do not yet realize your importance. Share these videos, and together we will rule the internet. And always remember, you don't know the power of the dark side.